All right, what's up, everyone? If you're checking out the replay, thanks for checking us out. I'm here with Jeff from Orbitkit, and if you're on right now, definitely say what's up. And Jeff, so how's it going?
Pretty good. Just all kinds of crazy stuff we've been rolling out. It's been super exciting lately.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, definitely excited to talk about it. I know Larry is. Look at this. Larry is already on. Excited to hear from Orbitkit. Look at that. Larry King in the house, the merch king himself. All right. So anyone else that's on, say what's up. I am excited for you guys to talk to Jeff today and learn more about Orbitkit. I know some people in my groups, have used Orbitkit and have begun to use it. But I think for the most part, there are many that are not using it, which is, the exciting thing about this. Hopefully we can get more people to see the power of Orbitkit. So Larry, I know you're one of those that's using it. And as we get some other people that jump on, maybe we'll have a couple of other users here as well. But so good things with Orbitkit. Now, while we're waiting to get going, how long has Orbitkit been around, Jeff? And then after that, I'll let you kind of get into a little bit of your background and all that.
Yeah, I would say about 3 years now. Maybe live to the public for 2.5 or something like that. Now it's definitely been more than 2 years, less than 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Like
and
forever.
then, yeah, I was going to say, like anything with any other apps, then, I'm sure you've had to evolve over that time. So that's, 2.5 years worth of a lot of work and getting it to where it is, I'm sure. So while we are waiting, let's start a little bit, Jeff, with your background. So Orbitkit the last 2.5-3 years. What about before that? Are you kind of a developer, or what's your background?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm a geek. I'm a techie by trade. I oddly enough kind of fell into the print-on-demand business. I guess maybe about 5 years ago. A buddy and I, along with 2 other guys, co-founded Gear Launch.
Okay.
And it was just sort of a happenstance meeting, connecting these, like, the 4 of us together, and we built this Gear Launch to quite a successful platform. For a brief period of time, at least. And so after, like, a couple of years later, after everybody split up from that engineering effort, me and one of the guys that I've worked with for a long time, Ray, we're thinking, well, let's do something. We have all this knowledge about the print-on-demand space. Let's do something. Let's do something with it. What should we do? And we reached out to Aaron and Duncan. I don't know if you know these guys, but
yeah, I remember them.
They're awesome. They were baller sellers, and basically asked them, what on earth do you need in this space? What can some tech people build that you guys would find useful and compelling enough to actually pay money for? And they came up with this idea. Well, I've got this giant library of designs. It's sort of disorganized. Like, they've uploaded some stuff to Redbubble. They've made a bunch of some stuff to Merch, some stuff to Teespring. Like, this kind of scattered all over the internet. Right. They don't really know what's where. What if we just sort of had a single dashboard for this and just one place? Okay, organize your design library and treat it like just one dashboard for the entire internet. Ray and I got sat down to work and built, at least back then, the embryo of what is today Orbitkit, and it's been a continuous process of listening to people, listening to our users, and saying, "Hey, can it do this? Can it do that?" Or, how do I have this problem? We just listen to that, and we've been just madly building features left and right. And here we are.
I love that because as a business, I was just going to say, as a business, that's always a good thing, is if you can find what problem that a certain group of people might have, that's the best way to build a business or, build a solution out there. And I like that you did that. You didn't just go ahead and say, I think I'm going to build this. You asked people that were doing well in that space and said, hey, what pain point do you have? And then you built something that obviously has helped a lot of people. So that's very cool.
And it becomes, after we had it live and to the public, the questions became self-sustaining, right? The questions and answers became self-sustaining. So I think we did great with like Aaron and Duncan were super helpful in the guiding the initial development, and then if you just ask people what they need, it's amazing how they answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, great. So now we got Orbitkit going on, a great dashboard for your design. So so if you're watching this and you're, really one of two people, if you're already doing print on demand, you definitely, in my opinion, should be having Orbitkit. And that's our goal today, is to let you know why that is and what it can do for you. And if you're not in print on demand yet, maybe you're watching this in the Side Hustle Facebook group and you're not in print on demand yet, hopefully this can tell you the power of getting into it, because everyone wants to get into some sort of business, but nobody wants to do the work, Jeff, right? Like, the whole uploading or designing maybe doesn't sound great, but then I think if they see a tool like this and say, well, that's the end in mind, that I can simplify things, I think that's what I want to show people, so that people can maybe get into it as well. And right off the get-go, I think it's the best way is to use Orbitkit. So like you said, to organize the designs. So I like that a lot. So with that being said, I guess for somebody who doesn't know Orbitkit, I'll let you explain it instead of me. What is Orbitkit for somebody who maybe has not used it yet?
Orbitkit is a design management system. So, I don't know how you organize your designs before Orbitkit, but most people, they've got a bunch of files on a hard disk, maybe a Google Drive share or something like that. Maybe it's backed up, maybe it's not. The titles and descriptions are maybe in your head, maybe when you want to upload something to various POD websites, you're making it up as you go. Maybe if you're more sophisticated, you've got some data in a CSV file or a spreadsheet or Airtable or something like that. Orbitkit is, like, first and foremost a cloud-based tool for just centrally organizing your designs. That includes the artwork and the titles, tags, descriptions, some additional metadata, like whether it's a mature design, that kind of thing. And then once you have all of this in a single consolidated library, you can the first and obvious thing to do is publish it to various places, and we automate all that for you. So you can say, I want these designs on Spreadshirt. I want these designs on Teespring, or usually people just upload everything everywhere. But some designs need to be on dark shirts. Some designs need to be on light shirts, things like that. There's a lot of mixing and matching that you can do. So that's the first. That was Orbitkit version 1. Orbitkit version 2 builds on that design database by offering a fulfillment service. So one of the things that we learned building this out is you can publish, for example, to Shopify and Etsy and a bunch of other places through Printful. So Orbitkit will publish to Printful, which then publishes to these other places. And we found that the synchronization just wasn't as good as we'd like. It's not a high enough quality integration for what Orbitkit users are expecting. So if you change a title or add a tag in Orbitkit, we automatically synchronize that to everywhere that it's published. So if you are if you realize, you forgot a tag, or you want to make a change to your pricing, or you want to do some experimentation with what if we add a pink shirt to some certain designs, things like that, you can do that pretty easily through Orbitkit. But through the Printful synchronization, like, we would synchronize some things to Printful. Printful wouldn't synchronize some things to the FAR platform. So we realized we really had to build our own direct integration with Etsy and Shopify. That's what we have live right now, and there'll be more coming. And the other thing that we're doing as part of the fulfillment business is we're trying something a little bit different than the way Printful and Printify and these guys are working, they're trying to give you every product under the sun. We were just focused on a handful of popular products and getting the print times down to Amazon fulfillment, like Amazon Prime style fulfillment. So
Quick
about
turnaround time. Yeah.
2/3 of our orders are going out same day, and 90% of our orders go out in within 2 days.
That's great.
So that's Orbitkit in a nutshell.
Nice. So that's interesting that you mentioned about the the design, kind of design library or design management, because I don't think of it that way, but it really is that. Perhaps because I personally use Merch Wizard and all that, but at the end of the day, all my designs do sit at Orbitkit now. So that is a great point. And for someone who maybe doesn't do merch, which I think is a lot of people watching this, either they're just on low tiers and they're just mainly doing Etsy and those other platforms, I think that's a very good point. Is Orbitkit serves as, how I always explain it to people, is you upload it to one place and let Orbitkit orbit it out to everywhere else, to the major platforms. That way, instead of you having to do that, I can't imagine anymore having to go to Redbubble and upload it than having to go to Spreadshirt and upload it. And, that'd be a nightmare. So with Orbitkit, it allows you to do that. So for the people watching who maybe don't know some of the major platforms, do we want to cover those a little bit? So we've talked about Redbubble. Maybe we can define a little bit about what the heck is Redbubble and Spreadshirt, and why people should be posting there.
Oh, sure. There's a lot of there are a number of platforms. There's actually probably only like 6 or 7 that get a lot of traffic. I mean, the main reason to post to Redbubble or Teespring or Spreadshirt or Society6 or Fine Art America or any of these platforms is because they have organic traffic.
Right.
Some of them actually purchase ads too. Like, for example, Redbubble, a big chunk of their budget goes to driving ad traffic to your designs. So if you put your ad, it's generally a tedious process to get your designs uploaded to any of these sites. There's just an awful lot of button clicking, but that's the pain that we take away. So if you can just click a few buttons and have your designs up on any of these sites, why wouldn't you? Essentially, they're figuring out how to sell it for you, and the margins may not be anywhere near what you're going to get if you set up a Shopify store, but you don't have to figure out how to drive traffic to it. Nothing stops you from having your own Shopify store too.
Right, and especially now with the fulfillment that you guys are offering as well. But yeah, so for beginners, the recipe I like, if somebody's looking to jump and print on demand, online, everyone sees the sexy Shopify screenshots of all this money, and what they don't see is that with Shopify, it's your own platform. You have to drive traffic to it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's good to build a brand on there, but like Jeff mentioned, the majority of these platforms, which are all available here on Orbitkit, Spreadshirt and Redbubble and TeePublic, which I think are the major 3, and then you have Society6 and those others there. You can publish your designs, publish it once to Orbitkit, and let it go to all those platforms and get that organic flow, that organic traffic. Why not? And then as an extra, if you are building a brand on, say, Etsy or Shopify, then you can also utilize Orbitkit for that. So that's why I love the platform. It does all that work for me. So that's good. So you definitely want to publish your designs on all those places. Don't just pick and choose one. I've seen some people that say, I put all my designs on Redbubble. And if that's the case, this is perfect for you, because why not syndicate, as I like to call it, to these other platforms as well, instead of having it just in one place. So that's exactly what Orbitkit can do for you.
And as a bonus, we can actually, if you already have your designs up on Redbubble, we can do a direct import from there. So you don't really have to do any work. So if you have all your designs on Redbubble and you want to have them on TeePublic or Spreadshirt or all these other places, really, we can just click a few buttons and it's
all right. Like that. Some magic.
It's almost, you don't have to do the trouble of uploading it even to our site.
Okay. So in case you're watching this and you are maybe in the past haven't been just to one platform, so what Jeff is saying, they can help you get it to all these other platforms instead of just saying, okay, I have those 500 designs over there, so maybe going forward I'll do it to all of them. But you're saying you can go back in time and we can grab those designs and orbit them now.
Yeah, when we run an import, we can do imports right now from Redbubble, Spreadshirt, and Printful. But when we run an import, you'll see when I actually do a demo. But I'm not going to do a demo of any import, but it looks as if Orbitkit published it in the first place. I mean, they're flagged, so you can tell which ones were imported, but. It saves you the trouble of uploading and editing the titles, tags, and descriptions, which nobody wants to do more than once.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, cool. So I think if you want to share your screen, we can do a quick demo here, show everybody the software.
All right, let's see.
And anyone else who's watching, aside from Larry already said hello, but anyone else who's watching, feel free to say what's up in the chat as well. And we'll get this going on here. Let's see. You ready to share it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So it should be there on the screen. In fact, I could even, there we go. I can even make it full screen so we can see.
All right.
Perfect.
Cool. So I guess the first part of this, I'm going to talk about just the design library aspect of it. So hey, here's a list of your designs. I'm starting with an empty library here. I'm going to upload some designs. Let's upload these guys. I've got we do a lot of custom work. Some people in our system have libraries with many tens of thousands of designs in them. So we really try to eliminate button clicking as much as possible. So there's actually a little custom function attached to this where it detected, it understood the format of the file name, because some people do this. They put tags in the file name. So now I've got a bunch of designs here that are that have a title description, a few tags. We support multiple languages if for platforms that support it, Redbubble and Spreadshirt mostly. Yeah, so the simplest things that you can do, basic searching, sorting, things like that. So food, let's see if we got some food designs. I guess there's no food tag. There might be a wine tag. All right. One thing that's interesting about this is that the selection and the searching process is the same as the selection process. So if I want to, I can do bulk edits to these. So let's add the tag food to this design.
So this way, if I upload like 10 that are like Halloween or Christmas, we're getting into the fourth quarter here, then I can do some tags for like one of them and kind of bulk assign it to those other 9 as well, because they're similar designs.
Yes, exactly. In fact, you can click on this batch and reselect the same batch that you uploaded. So if you end up uploading like each niche one at a time, you can get back and get to that. Usually people apply tags pretty quickly and you end up just living by tags. All right. So managing the workflow of uploading stuff. I mean, typically you just, you've got some new designs, you upload them, you put them in the system. Then what do you want to do? You probably want to publish them. So I have, first things first, I've actually already created a Redbubble account here. I probably should have started from scratch, but
it's fine. I think if people see more the functionality of what it can do afterwards, the setup, I'm sure once they sign up, they can see you guys have some nice tutorials in the support area and all that.
Right. So let me describe. Okay, so we have already attached. I've created what's called a venue in Orbitkit, and this is just associated with Redbubble account. This is associated with a Redbubble account. You can have multiple venues. You can even have multiple Redbubble venues if you want. When you're publishing your designs to, let's say, Redbubble, you've got the question, well, what products am I publishing it on? What colors? What price? What am I charging? All that kind of stuff. And we use this concept of a blueprint. So here at Redbubble, I have a work that I've created that is just any design. It doesn't really, the design doesn't matter here, but it's set up the way I want it to be. And in this case, I've just got some standard print clothing set up, large print clothing with a black shirt. It's really simple, but you could add anything you want in here. You could add, you could configure the color of the hands on clocks and things like that. The important thing is you get one blueprint work set up the way you want it to be, and then you copy
the template.
Yeah, it's a template. Yep. So you copy the URL and you say add a blueprint, paste that in there, save it. And now I have a blueprint, and I'm going to call this Dark Fabrics. This is my blueprint associated with dark colored fabrics that I'm going to use light colored designs on. There's a lot of advanced stuff you can do with changing the text on a shirt by shirt or item by item basis. But let's just leave it alone for now. So let's say I wanted to take all of these designs. Let's see, maybe I will do a subset just for fun. I have a good. All right, I'm going to do the dad shirts. If I didn't type in anything in the search bar, the default is everything is selected. But let's say I just want to publish these two, manually exhibit these using my Dark Fabrics blueprint. All right, so we've just told Orbitkit to schedule publishing these. It'll take. It depends on how busy the system. When it gets, how soon that will be picked up. Usually, it's pretty quick. I can probably go and kick it right now and get it to go, so we can actually see the results of this. Let's see.
All right, so basically we chose a template on Redbubble in this case, but that could have been also another 5 platforms, just so everybody knows. And then you kind of put that under, I believe it's a venue, right? Or no, archetype, right? As far as where you want it to go to all 5 platforms. And then in this case, this dad joke champ would go to Redbubble, it would go to Spreadshirt, it would go to TeePublic, to all the templates that Jeff set up. In this case, we did 1, but it could have easily been 4 or 5, correct?
Right. So I'm trying to give you the simplest possible introduction to explain how you get some designs on using a blueprint published to the to Redbubble. Now, usually there are some of these advanced features like archetypes, which lets you set up like a set of blueprints. So you might make an archetype which is all dark fabrics is a common archetype, and you put in all the blueprints for all the various platforms all the dark fabrics blueprints for all the various platforms. And you say, well, I want to publish this design or these designs with that archetype, and then Orbitkit will like spin up potentially, tens of thousands of what we call exhibits, and then slowly chew through them, 20 a day, 5 a day, as you see fit per platform, I should say, 20 a day per platform.
Very nice. Very nice.
Let me now see if this is done.
Dave Kadoff is saying, stay out of my niches. You hit him with the dad joke.
Well, I would say that I have never ever sold a shirt in my entire life, but somebody bought one of my test designs recently, nice. So I have actually sold a shirt. Now,
don't tell me it's that plain white star.
It was either the plain white one or the plain black one. I don't recall which one, but that was it. Yeah, on Redbubble. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So this one has synced up, and it's ready. We can look at it. Here's the sale listing. All right. Here's the edit listing, or the edit the edit link for it at Redbubble. Give it a chance to load here.
Yeah, see, that's great. It's just automation is your friend. When you can do something like that, click a button and it takes over, because like I said, that could have easily been 10 designs at once. And rather than uploading all 10 of those, this could have happened on its own for all 10 of those designs.
Yeah, the internet is slow here, but yeah, I mean, there we go. And we can do things pretty easily. So if we had, let's say we wanted to change the price of this, of a, hold on a second. Boy, this screen sharing thing is pretty slow. I think you got to go around. You got to click a bunch of different places to change shirt. Let's change the color. Let's say we actually really wanted to do something a little more interesting like that. Here, let's make it purple. I'm changing my blueprint at Redbubble. Got to go down here. Save that. Save work.
So then that means that Orbitkit will change that for anyone that used that template, any design that used that template?
Right. So it would not automatically, because we don't know that, like, Orbitkit isn't constantly polling Redbubble to find out if any of your blueprints have changed. But we can go to, if we changed a blueprint, we can go over here and say resync the exhibits.
Okay.
And now if we go back here, let's see, we can see that this one is now updating. Here, maybe it'll be better if we look at this thing like this. We're updating. Just for fun, I will kick it so that it immediately runs instead of having to wait for the normal update process.
You have that kind of connection. Just kick the software in the butt. So that's powerful, because if you have your design on multiple platforms and you need to update it for whatever reason, or update anything on those designs, or like recently when Redbubble and these other places came out with masks, you can change the blueprint or template over there with masks, resync it, and then now you can have that design on masks. Correct, Jeff?
That's exactly right. So a lot of people, it was pretty amazing. Every service. So we can see now that the default color has been changed for this design to match the blueprint. Yeah, TeePublic launched masks, Redbubble launched masks, Redshirt launched masks. Everybody launched masks, and
it's the new T-shirt.
Yeah, it is. So we suddenly were updating. I don't know. We probably updated a million different listings in all the various sites. It was nuts. It was nuts. It's the first time we've ever seen that happen. But yeah, you can do it. It sure beats trying to click through 10,000 listings and saying, oh yeah, I want to add masks to this. I want to add masks to this. I want to add masks to this.
Absolutely. Now, Dave has a quick question. He doesn't have a joke for us yet, but he does have a question regarding a little bit about what you just said. So how does the software choose which 5 or 20 designs to upload? So in other words, maybe I upload 20 designs, 10 of them are Halloween. Maybe I want those up first. The other 10 are just kind of, I don't know, dad shirts, so I don't care about those. How do I make the 10 Halloween ones go first, if I can?
You can. So you can either go to the exhibits page here, and you know what? Let's just, to make this a little bit more obvious, let's just exhibit everything here. Manually exhibit these with that one. Yep. All right. So now we have a bunch of waiting exhibits. And you can see they're sorted by queue position here. You can change the sort order if you want, but let's say you want the let's see, what's a good example here? Are there multiple fish related designs in that set? You think I would know this sort of thing. Well, all right. So I've selected one of them. You could select a bunch of them if you want. You can say prioritize these first. Now, let's select that. You can see that the fish exhibit is number 1. It's back up at the top here. You can pick a bunch of these if you want here too. You can select them individually if you care. Here.
I was gonna say, you can check mark them there to the left where the box is, right? Because I think I've done that before, and then select the bottom right.
Yep. So these are now the next 2 that are going to get processed. Now I'm looking at just exhibits as a whole. You'll find, like, if I was sending these to Cafe Press as well, they'll be mixed in here. If you just are on the designs page and you want to say, I want the coffee designs to go first, you can do this here. Prioritize these first, and it'll prioritize all the exhibits for that design. So across all the various platforms. This is probably more commonly what you want to do. So,
okay. Very good. So Dave, hopefully that answers that there. But yeah, you can definitely prioritize so that in that example, I can get those 10 Halloween ones kind of at the front of the line to get them going. Since Halloween is soon and people have already been buying ghost shirts for the last month already. And I'm more like last minute, buy candy the night before. All right. So what else do we want to cover? Let's see. We got that demo done. While we're waiting for any other questions on the demo, maybe we can cover a little bit about fulfillment, because we do have, I'd say my audience, especially because I have an Etsy course and we have a mastermind group that we talk a lot about Etsy, a big amount of people that not only are watching this, will watch it in the future, I would say are either on Etsy or looking to get into Etsy, probably because of what I'm putting out there. So let's talk a little bit about Etsy then. So Etsy is, as we know, a very good print-on-demand platform to get on. And now you offer fulfillment with Orbitkit to Etsy. So let's talk a little bit about that for someone who maybe doesn't know fulfillment. Like, what will you handle for them, and how will that work? So if I want to list a shirt on Etsy, take me through how Orbitkit is able to do that for us.
Sure. In fact, let's just walk through the entire process. So I'm going to create an Etsy venue here. And we're going to connect it. I don't know if you can see the little pop-up.
The pop-up? No, probably not. Nope.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, it's giving me a little pop-up asking me if I would like to connect it to my connect Orbitkit to my Etsy store, and I'm just going to say click on Allow Access. All right. So now I am connected here, and it works very much like the rest of Orbitkit in that you create a blueprint. Now, in this case, the blueprint editor is inside of Orbitkit ourselves. You don't have to copy links anymore. Right. Here, let's. Now the price is good. Let's print on the back. Maybe add a heather color. Maybe something else too. I don't know, what a purple color. We can save this, and now I have a blueprint that I can now publish my designs to my Etsy store with. So here, let's go fun. Let's just publish a couple of these guys, just a couple real fast. Manually exhibit these. We've already done that one. Here, let's just publish it to Etsy.
And what I like about publishing this way to Etsy is also because Etsy is also a little tedious in its upload and everything. So if you're publishing to these, platforms such as Redbubble and all that, and you're not doing Etsy, again, it's kind of one of those things. You may as well jump on board Etsy if you have a program like Orbitkit where it's not going to be any extra work anyway. It's one design and let it run 5-6 different times. Not run, but let it post 5-6 different times with the same amount of work. And that's what this could do. And I'm sure we'll get to it when we get to Etsy, but I also like that you guys have a size guide that publishes with the shirt.
Cool. Yeah. I'm kicking that off. So just so that it goes, so we're not waiting for it. Looks like it's almost there. And are we live yet? Oh, we're ready. So now I've got this live at Etsy. All right. So yes, Etsy and Shopify integration works pretty much just like all of the other platforms. You use venues and use blueprints to publish your designs in bulk. But that's not the coolest thing about our integration with Etsy and with our Shopify. So I mentioned this before, right? We're really the goal with our integration here is not to offer every product under the sun. For that, you have Printful. I think we're bringing back our Printify integration too. The long tail of products, if you want phone cases, if you want totes, things like that. We may eventually offer them ourselves as well, but our mission is to deliver the Amazon Prime-like experience where the customer purchases a product and 2 to 3 days later it shows up on their doorstep. So we have the production process dialed in now. Most of our prints are being done same day. The only delays occasionally happen with stocking, and that hopefully will not become a bigger problem later this year as COVID. We already are seeing some tightening of the supply chains. But generally speaking, if you're selling a black T-shirt, there's no reason why there should be any stocking issues. We'll print it and ship it the same day of the order, and then we're going to cut down the shipping time by replicating the facility in geographically dispersed areas. So by the second facility is coming up online soon. When that happens, East Coast is going to have great shipping times as well. So we'll get to the point where nobody's waiting. And people may be waiting a couple days. They're not waiting weeks for their product, which is a really big deal with Etsy, of course, because Etsy, your reviews, you live or die by your reviews. Yeah.
Yeah. So a follow-up question that Annette has that we can dive in. I got it on the screen for you. If you want automatic fulfillment through Etsy, can it only be products fulfilled by Orbitkit?
I mean, you can. We're perfectly happy to publish through Printful. And I said we've had a Shopify integration that nobody used, so we actually removed. I'm sorry, not Shopify, a Printify. Boy, this word salad.
I like Printify.
I do too, but nobody used them, and they kept breaking their API, so we actually shut it down. But now we've suddenly had a whole bunch of requests to bring Printify back, so we're bringing Printify back. So we're actually perfectly happy to publish to Etsy or Shopify using Printful or Printify or anyone else. Our goal is to sort of be this platform for print-on-demand artists and designers and digital marketers. If you want to use Printful, that's great. We'll help you with that. If you want to use Orbitkit fulfillment, we will obviously be happy to help you with that. I think that you'd probably I don't think Printful or Printify are ever going to be able to match the customer experience of Orbitkit fulfillment for the products that we provide, but I mean, we're not the end all and be all in the universe. We're not trying to do everything.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's a good question, and that's an even better answer, I think, because you guys are basically saying we now do fulfillment. However, we are fine with not being the only game in town. Like, we'll give you other options. We don't want to be a monopoly, but at the same time, you're proving your own worth with those fast shipping times, easy integration right on the platform. And in my opinion, if you're doing T-shirts, I think it's a no-brainer to use Orbitkit. And that's where the power of these other platforms come into play. Like Jeff said, that if you want to use Printful for the tote bags or Printify for, I don't know what else, but for something else, then go ahead and use them. But I think for t-shirts, yeah, it's going to be hard to beat shirts going out in 1 to 2 days from those platforms. I haven't seen those platforms do that, and Orbitkit is able to do that. So I think that's huge.
And we're public about this. So this is an almost real-time graph of our shipping times. So this was a half hour ago. As of a half hour ago, something like 60% of our orders were shipped in less than 1 day, and like less than 2 days, it's somewhere around 90% of orders going out. And there's a long tail of these things that tend to be hard to stock. And we'll actually reach out to you if for some reason somebody orders a athletic gray and 4X that some of these, just FYI, like some of these products just simply, some product size combinations just don't exist. They're extinct species in the United States now, due to basically due to COVID. But we'll work with you and figure out to make sure that what we need to do to get fast production.
And Annette is asking about Guten. So if you wanted to use Orbitkit to push products to Etsy, but it's fulfilled by, say, Guten is not supported on this platform right now. So for fulfilling to Etsy, it sounds like it is either Printful, maybe soon to be Printify, and of course Orbitkit's fulfillment. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yes, that's correct. Let me see if I can get my face back into the. Here we are. Yeah, we do not currently support Guten. We don't have any. We could. Nobody's asked for it yet. Everything in Orbitkit has been driven by customer requests, so we basically do what people ask for. If Guten was the hot item, then we could do that as well. I don't know. We haven't investigated their APIs yet, so assuming they have some.
Okay. So I have a question with Etsy. I like that you guys do publish that size guide. Is there any way, I'm asking a geek developer this, right? Is there any way that if in the future, because some people like to publish something to Etsy to go with all their, this is a big pain point for me anyway. If I like to publish, let's say, a happy looking couple wearing something with the brand or something like that, or even our own size guide that's branded or something, people like to do that on Etsy. I'm sure you've seen it on the platform. Is there any way that, I can upload that somehow, and then that also goes to all my, I don't know, designs as well, or uploads, I should say? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, is there any way to do that?
So in an automated fashion, no. You can certainly freeze the exhibits. In that case, Orbitkit won't change them. So you can then go and modify you can upload, replace all the mockups if you wanted to. You can change anything you want. If you freeze an exhibit, then Orbitkit basically leaves it alone, says, all right, you know what you're doing. Okay. But in terms of saying, well, hey, I want to include this cute picture of a cute couple along with every published listing, it's not something anyone's asked for, but maybe this is now the first time someone has asked for it. Nothing is impossible, and we really prioritize features just by what gets the most requests.
Sure. So keeping on with the Guten thing, I do have a question that I thought of. Somebody in the mastermind group, and she's on watching right now. Let's just say that somebody has an Etsy shop and it does have 300 designs that was all done with Guten. So it's native to Guten. Native meaning it's synced to there, was uploaded there. But they want to move away from that platform. And maybe they want to go to Printful, or maybe they're willing to go to Orbitkit or Printify when it comes back. Is that possible? Because you said you can import like Redbubble ones. Can we import fulfillment ones?
Yes.
Because that might be something that this person is looking for.
Yes, we've just started doing this. So we can convert, right now certainly convert Printful listings, whether or not they were initially created by Orbitkit. And there are other, like we can do we do it on a request by request basis. So yes, we can do it. It generally involves a little bit of writing some code, so it might take us a few days to figure it out, but we will. Converting listings is a big is pretty much occupying us full time right now.
So okay, cool. But that's good because people are getting on board with the Orbitkit fulfillment. Now we have a question from Larry. And any other questions, let us know too. We've done the demo. We've talked about Orbitkit. So this is time for you guys to go ahead and ask questions if you have it. So Larry, the Merch King, is asking, can you do CSVs of our designs? So I'm not sure what he's talking there. Maybe maybe he wants to upload a CSV of like 30 designs or whatever and have that go on auto.
You can do two. I mean, there's a lot of things that we do with CSV. One is maybe I can give you I don't know if I'll fire up the demo yet. You can download a CSV of all of the metadata of your designs. So like it'll be like design ID, file name, English title, English tags, English description, French title, French tags, French description, like is it mature, like all that kind of stuff. And you can actually edit that file in a spreadsheet, and then re-upload it into Orbitkit if you wanted to. So it's another way of doing bulk changes to your metadata. So if you, if you want to do a search and replace on some kind of a spelling mistake or just, whatever it is, you can do that.
Trademark issue or something, yeah.
Sure. So that's one way we work with CSV. Another way we work with CSV is if you have your design library in some kind, if you have data that you're trying to import into our into Orbitkit, just reach out in the help system. We can, like, if there's an image URL in there and some kind of metadata, we'll get it imported for you. We do that. We do a lot of that. Basically, our mission. I said this to someone recently. Like, our corporate mission is to reduce the amount of button clicking in the universe. So if we can automate something for you, just ask.
Okay. So that's great. That's great to hear. So I mean, that's what I love is that you're willing to listen to what people's pain points are, which, as we learned, is how you kind of started all of this to begin with. And yeah, I mean, I love the automation. I think it's a really big no-brainer to be able to do it. So just to summarize for some of the people that are not doing print on demand, this is a great way to start print on demand. Get your designs, put them all up into Orbitkit, and let Orbitkit do the work to get it to 5, 6 platforms, 3, whatever you want, but let it get to all those platforms, including Etsy now, or even Shopify if you're building your own brand, and it's one design that you get to have work for you 5, 6 times over. It's a no-brainer to do that. And with Orbitkit, I mean, it would for you to have like a virtual assistant doing this, which I know, Jeff, that in the early days of merch, many people were paying virtual assistants to do this and get their designs on other places, and it certainly would cost hundreds a month, even if you're doing outsourcing to overseas. It's still going to cost a lot of money to do that. So Orbitkit is a savior, and it becomes your virtual assistant doing that for you. It's a no-brainer. So other questions that we have, feel free to ask them, whatever you've got. And yeah, that's what I can say too about their support. And Jeff did not pay me anything for this, but their support is phenomenal. Since the beginning, when I first started using Orbitkit, for real, I have to thank you guys. Every time that I have a question, a burning question, and sometimes a stupid question, it doesn't matter. They're on there all the time. And, in their chat, even a lot of times if I ask it and maybe it's off hours and I expect that they're not going to be there, I'm like, well, at least I'll see this tomorrow or something like that. But sure enough, I get a response and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, sounds good. So just keep that in mind. It's important to get good support to, especially in the beginning when you're setting all this up. There will be a little bit of a learning curve, but I promise once it's all set up for you, there's nothing you have to do. You just literally upload your designs, assign it to where you want it to go, and your work is done. That's it. Anything you want to add to that, Jeff?
Thanks. I mean, I do. I personally believe that support is sort of like the companies lose their way when the engineers stop talking to the customers. So I'm a really big firm believer in being in the front lines and talking to our users. I mean, that's how we discover what to build. So yeah, we're a company of, we're not some guys thinking, oh, hey, we're going to just strike it rich by hiring some, offshore programmers to hack together something no, I mean, we are the programmers. We could be working for, Facebook or Google or something like that. But we're kind of like a lot of the people. One of the things I really appreciate about the people that are in the print on demand business is they tend to be sort of entrepreneurial, like want to lead a different life kind of way. And that's, I see that. I identify with that a lot. So that's a lot of why we are in this business. So yeah, you'll be talking to the the people answering the support question are the developers.
That's great. All right, cool. So any other questions at all, post them, and then I'm going to put my link here, Jeff, for them to sign up for Orbitkit if they haven't already. I'll put it in the description and all that. But definitely do it. It's a great program. You have questions, you can let me know, and more importantly, you can let them know, and they will be glad to help you with everything. But if you're on the sidelines, you're not doing anything, this is the best time to get into the game. It's about to be fourth quarter. Things sell the most, in October through December. So you have the rest of this month to really, get some designs out there, and Orbitkit can help you get them there quickly. So now's the time. So for fourth quarter, any slowdown, or you guys are ready, right? We were talking a little bit before, as far as your fulfillment goes, you guys are ready to print a lot. Is that right?
We have the capacity we have tens of thousands of units a day capacity. So we are awesome. We are really well positioned for Q4. So yeah, we're super excited about it.
That is great. That's awesome. Yeah, because like you said, that's one of the pain points of Etsy is during fourth quarter, if you have a provider that takes a long time, you're going to get hurt with those reviews, and you don't want that. And of course, sometimes things happen, and for the most part, I have found customers have been very understanding. But if it happens often, then you run greater chances of getting those bad reviews. So definitely. All right. So anything else you want to add, Jeff, before we wrap up here? If there's no other questions from anybody.
Nope, I can't think of anything.
No? All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking to Orbitkit, and in the future with any updates and things like that, I'm sure I'll get you back on here and more demos and things like that. But for in the meantime, anybody else, if you have questions, let me know, or go to Orbitkit's website as well. It's orbitkit.com, right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure it's not like a .io or anything. So orbitkit.com, go there. It has all the information on that homepage. It'll tell you exactly places that it supports right now and all that good stuff. But it gives you everything you need. Or in fact, you can go to, I got the link right there, sidebusinesslaunch.com/Orbitkit. And I believe going through my link there, you get a discount as well, if I'm not mistaken, in the first month anyway, of the platform to kind of ramp up and get going.
Yep.
All right.
And I should also tell you that signing into Orbitkit and using the database, the design management database, is free. Publishing to Shopify and Etsy is free. There's no monthly fees associated with that. Obviously, you have to pay for merchandise that we print. The subscription is for if you want to publish to the traditional POD platforms like Redbubble and Teespring and TeePublic and those sorts of places. So you can sign in through connect through this link right here, and you'll get a discount when you do choose to subscribe to the Orbitkit Everywhere plan. But you can get, you can see what Orbitkit's all about without actually paying any money up front.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we didn't make that totally clear when we talked about the fulfillment, but I know it's newer. So fulfillment, you don't need to pay for that, like any monthly fee or anything like that. You can just simply sign up. You can start sending your designs over to Etsy in a very easy, fast fashion, like we talked about, and organize your designs. And as you sell products, then So for instance, if you sell something on Etsy, a shirt for $25, and let's say it cost you $12 with Orbitkit, then the difference, which is $13, is yours. That's how you get your profit in that example. Purely an example, you can set your prices at whatever you want when you do that in Orbitkit. But yeah, you don't need to pay for that at all. And then if you wanted to publish to those POD marketplaces such as Redbubble and TeePublic and Spreadshirt, then that's when you would pay for that service. All right, so I'm glad we got that squared away as well, Jeff. All right, cool. So that is all. So again, thank you so much for coming on. I'm also I'll give you the link afterwards, Jeff. I know you're on Facebook, and I'll get you into my group. I don't think you're in there, but in case there's any follow-up questions afterwards as well regarding this, you'll already be in there. I'll be able to tag you and all that stuff. So I'll get you in there too. So thank you again, Jeff.
All right. Thank you very much.